Who has the best chance of survival in Primal? Is it Samurai Jack, Dexter, or Dracula? Primal's newest season is finally here, and it's well on its way with a new undead twist. Joining me in the IGN studio is show creator Genndy Tartakovsky, who is here to answer all of our burning questions. Welcome to IGN FanFest.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so let's jump right into it. For those watching who are looking to get into Primal for the first time or just learning about the show now, what is Primal?
Primal is a visceral, visual show about a caveman and a dinosaur who bond over this shared tragedy that they experience, and they find a way to become a new family and survive the horrors of the world.
Amazing. Now, Spear is back this season as a zombie. What made you want to revive the character after his end in season 2?
Well, basically, I thought, at the end of season 2, that was kind of it, and I wanted Primal to be kind of everlasting, so I thought about having it to be like an anthology show. And then, what happens is during production, it takes us like 2 years to do a series, and then it comes out and people watch it in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So the timing that I live with it versus people who watch it is very different, right? Mm-hmm. And so I spent a lot of time with it, and then you kind of feel, production is sometimes difficult and it's everything that I love to do, but still it's hard. And so I feel like I'm finished with it. But then after I take a little break, I realized, oh no, it's still so fresh. And then the response is really strong. And then you start to think about I just spent 20 episodes getting to create these characters and for people to really like them. And then I kill one off and then it's the end of the show. So then I realized it's too early, and then what do I do now? And then basically this idea popped up. And initially the idea is it's kind of almost like a joke. But then as I started to think about it, all these amazing story elements and emotional elements came out. And then, for everything that I've ever done, I've always just trusted my gut. And then my instinct said yeah, this is good. And then I talked to the team and pitched it to everybody, and everybody was on board.
Amazing. Now, what sort of challenges come with bringing a character back from death? Are there any new opportunities as well?
Yeah, it was basically it's all fresh, right? And what's exciting, because it's the 3rd season, if you're watching the show, you've seen the first 2 seasons, and you're already attached to it, right? You like the characters. And now we have the situation where you can really cheer for the character because he's reborn, but he doesn't know who he is, right? So now there's this journey of the audience cheering and hoping that he's going to become the person that they love.
Yeah. Now at CCXP this last year, you stated that there were some scrapped ideas for an anthology series. You just mentioned it as well in this interview. Can you tell us a little bit about what those look like?
Yeah, I think one of the ones I wanted to play around with creation. Right, so it would be like this alien world, and there's this orange furry woman that's born, or female that's born, and then she meets a blue male, and they're created in this kind of crazy world, and they have to find a way to mate and be together and survive, right? And the world was all imaginary or fantasy, and with all these different creatures and everything, and it felt like different than Primal, but at the same time, it was like, okay, what horrors do they face now? Nature, nurture, and all these things. And it felt, it didn't click. And sometimes I have a lot of ideas like that. I have an idea that I'm initially really excited about, but if I can write down 10 episodes right away, right, then I know the idea is ripe. If I'm struggling already after a couple, I know something's not figured out. There's an element that's missing, who knows what's wrong.
I see.
Right, and so that was one of the ideas that I kind of started with, and I messed around with making them like bugs and everything, and so nothing clicked.
I see. Is there any idea that you kind of had off the wall of oh, this is the craziest I can get with an anthology version of Primal? I'm
a fan, not a fan, but I love history, and I'm interested in all the world wars that everybody's gone through. And so I wanted to do something with World War I, right? But to do it without dialogue and the same feel, like I felt it was too kind of shticky or something wasn't right, but it felt like and then I had this idea, right? I had this idea of a warrior's point of view through time. Like, so you start with a Roman soldier, and that becomes a World War I soldier, and that becomes a future soldier, and it's all the same guy through time and all the different aspects of war. Maybe at one he's a coward, at one he's a hero, right? And it was a really big idea, and I just don't know what it had to do with with Primal and all of that, but so that was another one.
Amazing. Now, will we be returning to this world as an anthology at some point in the future?
I don't know. You know, after blabbing about that I'm done with it after the second season and then changing my mind, I think everything's open right now. I think the one thing that I want is I want Primal to be everlasting. You know, as long as I'm working, I always want a new season of something.
Now, all of your shows have a very distinct visual style, from the retro future look of Dexter's Lab to the striking cinematic look of Samurai Jack, and of course, the Clone Wars, and finally now Primal. How does the show's newest season raise that visual standard that you've set for yourself?
I mean, we're always pushing color and mood and stuff, and I think it's in line for what we've done in the first two seasons. It's more definitely nature-based, opposed to the second season where we had more man-made things, right? And so I think it follows that. What really gets amped up in the third season, I think, is the emotional stakes. I think they're even bigger than anything that we've done. And like kind of what I was saying earlier, because you're invested already in the character, there's a stress and anxiety right at the beginning, you know, and that's the feedback I've been getting back from people that watch it, and that's great, you know, because that's the dream, is to have the people care for your characters, you know. So I think otherwise it's the third season, so we're kind of doing a similar thing, but yeah.
Amazing. Now, this is IGN FanFest, so of course we ask the IGN audience to submit their own question. This one comes from X Simon Says. He asks, how long does each episode take to make?
Oh, well, it takes about, I would say about almost 6 to 8 months, start to finish. But then we start a new episode every 2 to 3 weeks, right? So if you can imagine, we start the storyboard, then the next one starts writing, then it goes into layout, another one starts storyboarding. So everything is overlapped. So at one point we have, you know, like 5 or 6 episodes that are always in some stage of production.
I see. Now, final question. Who has the best chance of survival in Primal? Is it Samurai Jack, Dexter, or Dracula?
Well, Dracula's undead, so that's pretty simple for him, I think.
He's got an advantage there for sure.
Yeah.
Miss me.
Okay, you win. Hold this bacon.
Why am I holding bacon? Ah!
All right, well, there you have it. Genndy, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can check out new episodes of Primal on Adult Swim and HBO Max right now. And for everything else gaming, entertainment, and FanFest, stick with IGN.
Thank you.